The movie starts with a spaceship crashing on Earth, and then we see a man emerging from it. In the next scene, we see Hill wake up and cook breakfast for his wife, So-hee. As they are doing breakfast, So asks Hill if his overtime isn't too much. After that, So-hee meets with her friends. There is always someone who comes later than other people, and she is Yang's son. She is an artist, and she told So-hee that her boyfriend is a photographer. By the way, all So-hee's friends are always jealous of her because she has such an intelligent and beautiful husband. When Yang's son hears that So-hee's husband is intelligent, handsome, and decent, she expresses her suspicion that he must be cheating on her. This creates suspicion in So-hee's mind. And when she comes home, she immediately looks for signs of cheating. What she gets is that when a husband works overtime and she takes great care of his wife, immediately means he is cheating. So she immediately contacts a well-known detective named Jang to interrogate her husband. Jang is a professional detective, and there are a bunch of certificates on the wall. Detective Jang agrees to help So-hee investigate Hill. He starts following him right away and checks all his activities during the day. 5:30 a.m., Hill leaves the house. At 6 a.m., he arrives at the golf course and hits the ball into the Pacific Ocean in one shot. After that, he had breakfast at his company and drank some bottles of wine. Then he drove to a nightclub, picked up a girl, and took her back to a hotel. After that, he went to the gym and hooked up with a hot girl. Then they went to the Han River and got intimate. After that, he drove to a gas station and drank 2 liters of gasoline. The next day, he went to a bar where he met and hooked up with a girl. He gave his contact information to the female bartender. Detective Jang discovers that before getting married to So-hee, Hill had already been married 3 times previously. So-hee is 4th. When she comes home, she immediately tries to kill Hill with a knife. However, she is still hesitant to kill him. She finds her classmate, Sera, to complain to. Sera is a butcher that people have nicknamed Bloodhound because she is used to make dumplings from her husband's meat. After he cheated on her, Sera tells her that it is better to have even a bad husband, but So-hee can't accept this. He goes to Detective Jang again, and he gives her a book called Immortality. Detective Jang has dealt with many similar cases before and is convinced that Hill is beyond the scope of normal life. He may be an alien. So-hee still can't believe her husband is possibly an alien, despite the evidence. Detective Jang takes So-hee to investigate the truth, and they observe Hill drinking gasoline. So-hee accepts the reality of the situation and goes home and drinks water, but the water has been drugged by Hill, so So-hee struggles for a while and dies. Hill comes back and pretends to be worried and sad. He takes her to the hospital and quickly signs the insurance policy when he learns that So-hee has died. However, she suddenly revives and vomits a blue liquid. All her high school classmates come to see her off at the hospital, but she has miraculously come back to life. After being discharged from the hospital, So-hee and Sera go to Detective Jang to inquire about how to kill Hill. Jang expresses that it is a difficult mission and asks for more money. That night, the 3 of them set up a high-voltage wire in the bathtub. Soon after, Yang's son arrives at the house after receiving a message that her husband is there. She rushes into the bathroom but only finds Sera. Yang's son has heard of Sera's stories, so she gets out of the bathroom. She complains to So-hee that Detective Jang is her husband and he always lies to her, claiming to be a successful man and a famous photographer, when in reality he is only a small detective. She doubts he is cheating on her this time, so she brings the gun to destroy his crime tools. Detective Jang is hiding in the bathroom, afraid to come out because she has a gun. Yang wants to smoke to calm down, but she doesn't have a lighter, so she uses the electrical switch of the bathtub to create a fire instead. Due to this, Jang starts getting electric shocks and becomes unconscious. So-hee tells Yang that she has just killed Jang and that the first thing they need to do now is to hide the body. At this time, Hill arrives at home and is on the way upstairs. They somehow manage to hide Jang inside the closed care machine. Now when Hill is in the bathtub, he presses the button, but nothing happens to him. He opens the door of the bathroom and sees them and says, "What are you all doing here?" Sera tells him that they are just preparing a surprise party for him. Now they put the poison into the wine bottle and brought it to Hill. Hill drinks a glass of wine, but nothing happens to him. Suddenly, he hears a noise from the clothes scare machine. He opens the door to the machine and sees Detective Jang. Detective Jang's eyes are open, and he says, "I'm still alive," but Hill hits him on the head and he dies. According to So-hee, Jang's death is an intentional homicide. Therefore, she suggests that they hide the body to avoid life imprisonment. However, when they open the door, they find that Hill's alien's friends are already here, waiting to help them hide the corpse of So-hee. They are surprised to find that So-hee is still alive. Hill asks the aliens to wait in the living room while he takes the drunk detective up to the mountain, then promises to come back. On the mountain, Hill finishes digging a hole, but So-hee uses the shovel to knock him down. Then they bury him together with Detective Jang. However, his head comes out and the three of them get scared and get in the car to drive away. Hill gets out of the hole and begins to chase them. He runs even faster than the car and jumps onto it. He asks So-hee to stop the car, but it crashes and Hill falls off from the cliff. They think that he must be dead this time. The three of them go home and still have to deal with Hill's friends. Luckily, upon opening the door, they find that all of their friends have died. These aliens had drunk the wine and died as a result. The three now have to take the bodies back to the mountain and make a bigger hole than before. However, on the way, the police stop their car and question them. Are the men in the backseat dead? Sera says no, they're only drunk. She was the driver, so she incurred a penalty and had her driving license withdrawn. The police also wanted to investigate the men in the car. When they went out, all the alien friends were alive and awake by then because they are all immortal. After that, the police bring a man that they have found on the street, and he is Detective Jang. Hill arrives soon after, and the police realize that they are all acquaintances. They all tell the group that they can leave. In the car, Hill tells them that there is no need to pretend anymore. Let's fight. They start to fight in the car, and it crashes again, this time quite seriously. The car full of people flies down the cliff. So-hee and her friends awaken first. Hill also gets out of the car. There is a knife on his head. However, it has no effect on him. He takes the knife off and eats. Now, So-hee and her friends run to a factory, but they are stopped by Hill. And this time, he wants to kill them to cover everything up. Suddenly, Hill hears a voice calling for him to come out and fight. It belongs to the captain of a transnational criminal organization specializing in the capture of aliens on Earth. Hill is shot with a special dose, but it has no effect. The captain orders his men to rush up and fight Hill head to head. The captain throws a large piece of wood at Hill, injuring him and causing him to be apprehended by several men. However, his power then awakens and he demonstrates immense combat prowess, throwing everyone off of him. The captain and Hill then face each other in a head-to-head battle. On the other day, when So-hee and her friends were escaping, they see Detective Jang being caught by the super special police. Jang takes out a bag containing a super toxin that can restrain the power of aliens. When Hill is attacking Captain, So-hee shoots the toxin into Hill's body and he falls to the ground and dies. 1 year later, So-hee, Yang's son, and Sera enjoy a happy life. However, from time to time, So-hee goes to the gas station to drink gasoline because she's also an alien. And that's a wrap. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more. If you have a movie you'd like us to recap, let us know in the comments. See you next time.